Hi everyone, this is Thomas. I'm going to be giving an educational video on type 2 diabetes in middle-aged Americans. I'm going to be presenting what type 2 diabetes is, what it looks like, and the factors that are associated with that health issue. I'm going to be presenting the risk factors associated with it, and I'm also going to be presenting why it is important for you to take action for the people who have type 2 diabetes and for the people who may be prone to receiving that illness. So stay tuned. So the main research I've done on this topic of type 2 diabetes is in middle-aged Americans. This is a popular group that has been shown to show prevalence of the disease in people, mainly because the lifespan in people, specifically Americans, have shown proneness to receiving type 2 diabetes when they reach the middle age bracket. That middle age bracket is between the age of 45 and 64. The main reason that there's the main reason for such a commonality with this disease in this middle-aged bracket is because there's an onset of the disease. As you get older, your body starts getting wear and tear, things don't operate the best as they could, hormones become imbalanced, and things just don't work as properly as they could when they were younger. That's why as you get older, there's more of a chance of developing diabetes. There's also a lot of factors that play into how you can get diabetes. A lot of it is because of lifestyle choices, but you can also be prone because of your genetics and hereditary factors, like if your parents had diabetes or your grandparents, or if you had common issues related to diabetes such as obesity or hypoglycemia or low blood sugar within your parents or grandparents. It's a common thing to see type 2 diabetes with those diseases as well. So some statistics that we can see from Americans from the Center of Disease Control indicates that a total of 38 million people in the United States have diabetes.
And more specifically, 15.8% of that number is affected from middle-aged adults.
So some information on diabetes is there's three different levels of severity with that disease. The first one is pre-diabetes, pre-diabetic. The next level of severity is type 2 diabetes, and the most severe is type 1. Now, pre-diabetes refers to the development, the start of diabetes, which indicates that you have a higher than normal blood sugar level, okay? Type 2 diabetes refers to an insulin issue in which your body becomes more resistant to insulin. Now, this result of insulin resistance causes blood glucose to rise in the blood, which also causes the pancreas to secrete large amounts of insulin. So that's not really good. And then the most severe case of type 2 diabetes is associated with the pancreas lacking an adequate amount of insulin. Usually in the cases of type 1 diabetes, people will have to rely on insulin injections to keep their blood levels maintained properly at normal levels. So there's a number of risks associated with type 2 diabetes. The most obvious ones can be development of type 1 diabetes. There can be kidney disease, nerve damage that can cause actually having to amputate certain parts of your body. And without proper maintenance and proper care for type 2 diabetes patients, there's those risks associated with it, and it can get really bad. It is important to start taking action if you develop these diseases. Even pre-stage diabetes, you should be cautious about what you do, your diet, your exercise, your lifestyle choices, your habits are all factors associated with diabetes. You need to take into consideration all those factors to make sure that you're properly planning all those elements to not set yourself up for failure, because the more you start lacking on those lifestyle choices of factors, the more you're going to progress at more risky levels of severity with diabetes, such as type 2 and then type 1, and then more serious health issues in the future. So it is very vital to start working on improving and taking action towards successfully maintaining or even curing that disease as much as possible. Now, I'm not a doctor. The main person you should be talking this with is your doctor, because they will give you the factual evidence and information available to you that is prescribed specifically for you in your case. But some recommendations for living with type 2 diabetes is mainly 3 areas, which is diet, exercise, and managing your weight. Those are 3 areas that you can control yourself and be able to work towards maintaining that diabetes you have. So diet is a very important one, and that's probably one of the biggest factors associated with it. Diet, you want to have some sort of balance with your choices, your food, your meal. Obviously, the My Plate recommendation of having balance of portion control with your meals and having a variety of nutrients available is a great model to go by. But more specifically, tailored to you, I'd see a dietitian, because they'd be able to tailor specific diet plans and different methods for your specific individual needs. Because it's hard to go off at the internet and what internet says about certain diet plans, and you think you can copy those, but you really can't, because it's mainly for either specific people that might not be you, or it might be tailored towards a large population, which won't be such an efficient plan for specifically your individual needs. So seeing a registered dietitian is very important in that case with diet planning. Exercise is another area where diabetes has been known to not persist. Exercise is very important in general for longevity and protection of your heart and your whole body as well. So a study done from the National Library of Medicine on exercise and type 2 diabetes presents moderate and vigorous aerobic training improves insulin sensitivity. It also specifies, but a lesser intensity may also improve insulin action to some degree. So it's to show you that some sort of exercise related to aerobic training is very good at promoting insulin sensitivity, which is very important with people who have diabetes who become insulin resistant, right? So any exercise related to aerobic training, moderately to vigorous, is a great exercise that you can implement into your daily life. It even specifies that resistance exercise also is beneficial to insulin action. So anything related to those areas are very important to taking action towards preventing or even maintaining diabetes. But I think another important note is to take in consideration individual needs. Specifically for your needs, I don't think you should be going on the internet and trying to find something related to your condition or what you think might be related to your condition. It may or may not work, who knows? But I think the most efficient way to go about that is to see a licensed or registered physical trainer, because they're actually going to give you a plan that is tailored to your needs. So keep that in mind. So lastly, maintaining weight is an important factor as well. As you can see here, this is a BMI chart. You can see there's underweight, healthy weight, overweight, obese, and extreme obesity. Now it recommends from CDC to maintain a healthy weight. Why? Mainly because anything underweight or overweight has more factors related to illness or proneness to disease if you're not in that healthy range. So the main area we're concerned with is the healthy weight. You want to maintain that healthy area. So if you're underweight or overweight, you're more prone to certain other risk factors associated with type 2 diabetes. This can speed up your diabetic stage in a certain way that is unhealthy. So maintaining that healthy weight is the best probable cause for preventing, reducing, and managing your diabetes. So maintaining a healthy weight is the goal. Two references that I feel like are very important for people who are living with diabetes or maybe prone to diabetes or doesn't even know. The first one I know is the American Diabetes Association. This association is a nonprofit organization that's dedicated to the prevention, to the curing, and to the management of helping people live with diabetes. So I found this website and I thought it was really interesting how much tools and different kind of facts they had about diabetes. There's a lot on diabetes, and they dedicated a lot to different factors related to diabetes: the prevention, the curing, and maintaining it as well. The next one is a great overall recommendation is the Center of Disease Control. They have a main area for diabetes I like. So the main area is living with diabetes. That's the area I found. It has different kind of articles and different kind of tools. Like there's one for education and support, learning about diabetes, self-management, education and support, eating well, healthy weight, getting active, blood sugar level, being prepared, your diabetes care schedule. There's a lot of different resources and different articles associated with it, like your diabetes care schedule. It gives you like everyday recommendation, monthly, 6 months, every year, different kinds of recommendations that they give about how you should maintain or treat your diabetes. So I really like this website. I think it's really educational, especially for people who are trying to figure out how they're going to manage it, how they're going to get rid of it. So yeah, so with those two resources, there's a lot there you can learn. If you don't know anything about it, I'd get on those websites and start reading it up. I highly recommend it, just for people being aware of the issue, because some people don't even know they have diabetes. Maybe there's some signs that you can realize and be like, oh wow, like I might have it. Maybe I should go get myself screened or checked out by a doctor. That can be really impactful to your health and prevent you from getting a disease that's, you know, really good, really growing in the United States at this time. So especially if you're middle-aged, I think it'd be a really smart choice, especially if you don't know if you have diabetes or not. I think that'd be really great to start. But for anyone younger than middle-aged, I think it's great too. You don't know, you know, if you're prone to, especially if you have genetic factors related to diabetes. It'd be smart to educate yourself and see if there's ways that you can prevent it from growing in your life and not living in diabetes. So those are some great things to check out. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was kind of short, but I thought it was more informational to the public, and I thought you might take this information into consideration and apply it in your own life. So other than that, thank you, and I wish you guys the best.